Hi YouTube, welcome to Pagan Perspective. This is Wednesday and I'm your host Megan. Hi YouTube, welcome to Pagan Perspective. I am your host Megan for the Wednesday spot, and today we are talking about blending of pantheons. So the question asker says, I'm an eclectic pagan, and at the present I find myself drawn in two directions at once. I am drawn to aspects of Celtic culture, places, language, etc., and of Egyptian culture in a much more general fashion. Not to mention, more recently, I've started to become concerned that an Egyptian deity is trying to contact me. The reason I'm concerned is I'm not sure how this kind of blend of Celtic and Egyptian would go over as far as the divine is concerned, and quite frankly, I don't want any angry gods after me. Do you have any tips or tricks for this? Okay, so I do not work with any Egyptian gods or goddesses. However, I know a lot of people who do, and I know that it is quite a powerful pantheon to get involved with, as well as the Celtic pantheon. So the idea is really, can I join pantheons? I mean, in this case, we're talking Egyptian and Celtic, but really, I think the basis of this question is, can I mix and match? And is that okay? And is it going to cause problems? And I think the most important thing to remember is that this is what feels right to you. So if it's something that you meditate on and you feel drawn to Isis as the same time you are drawn to Bridget, then absolutely you can combine them. It is something that has to be felt within you, and it has to be called to you. If an Egyptian deity is calling to you, there's probably a reason. And it's probably something to go about with respect and with honor, but definitely seek it out. I would say the thing that would make a god angry over anything would be to ignore them. So I would definitely kind of pay attention a little bit to a god that's trying to reach out to you. It's definitely a whole nother world when you start combining things. Keep in mind, it's important to remember the totality of your work. So what are you giving more emphasis on? Are you more interested with the feminine divine? Are you more interested with the male divine? Do you have an area that's lacking in one of those places? And in that case, I would say it's very important to look at the entire pantheon that you're creating for yourself. You know, even though you're taking from different places, take a look at that and make sure that you're finding a nice complete circle and a balanced circle. It's really important. The other thing that I would say that is super important in all of this is to make sure that you feel a personal connection. I think that's something that is probably the most paramount in all of this, is that it is essential for you to feel like you are drawn to these deities and that you have a personal working relationship with them. If you feel drawn to Egyptian culture and Egyptian deities, start working with some of them. Contact Isis. See how a meditation goes. See how you're working with these different deities and see if they respond well to you. If they do, great. Then keep them in your pantheon. Start working with some of the Celtic deities as well. See who fits and who fits where. Really, the most important thing is to have that connection. So I would say, instead of worrying about which one you're going to start honoring or praying to or working with in ritual, first start with meditation and see if any of them are a good fit for you. I would say that that's the first place to start. I definitely don't think anybody's going to be angered over you kind of mixing things up. I think eclectic pagan is that just for its name. It's eclectic. You can mix and match and take where you need, because the idea is all these gods and goddesses are manifestations of the overall divine feminine and the divine masculine, at least in my humble opinion and my faith. So they are all offshoots of the supreme god and goddess. And they are all aspects. And so they all come from the same place anyway. It's just, how is that aspect represented? And in what manner do they like to be honored? And do they like for you to work with them? That's really what it's about. An Egyptian deity is going to be very similar to a Celtic deity in that their essential source energy is the same. However, how they want you to work with them, how they see the world, how their culture is, that's going to be different. And if you're drawn to those aspects, that's important. And it can help you in your path. As long as you are responding to them and they're responding to you, I say it's all good. And definitely reach out to the one that is calling to you, because that would probably piss me off if I was trying to call to somebody and they weren't responding. So I would definitely get on that and try some meditative time with each of the deities that you're hoping to connect with, and see if that personal and energetic connection can be found. All right, guys, thank you so much. And I'll see you all next week. And I hope that you all stay warm, because the Northeast up here is getting a major cold spell. So until next week, guys, as always, blessed be.